Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. My name is Diego, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys how to build a white street frog's breeding chamber. You probably know that in order to breed white street frogs, or any other frog for that matter, you need a rain chamber. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a rain chamber that I designed and built for this specific species. Now honestly, it is the first frog that I've produced. The breeding chamber is probably not the best, and there's probably a lot of things that you can do to improve it. Feel free to do so. This one has worked for me 3 times, and every time that I try to breed them, they successfully lay eggs that are fertile. So I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's definitely not the best either. There's probably way better ways to do it, and in today's video I'm gonna show you the way that I did it, and it worked for me. Also, you probably know that there's no information on how to do this online. There's some other species, but no one is really posting videos on how to do this. It probably is because people don't want you to breed it, and I probably should not be posting this video either because more competition, frogs are super easy to breed. And if everyone's producing frogs, then there's going to be an overflooded market. I really hope that this video does not incentivize a lot of people to breed white street frogs, but definitely try it, give it a go. Honestly, it is kind of hard to care for the baby tree frogs, so if you don't know how to care for the baby white street frogs, there's really no point in producing thousands of white street frogs. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video and see how I built this rain chamber for breeding white street frogs. Now this is a 56 quart plastic tub. I know it looks dirty, but I've cleaned it like 5 times. It just had some tap water in it and it became kind of hard on it. So I know it looks murky and disgusting, but I swear it is clean. And this size works pretty good for a trio, but I wouldn't go further than that in a size like this. The next thing we're gonna need is this. Another box full of things. So let's break down each one of these things that are gonna go in our frog's breeding chamber. Alright, so here we have our 4 supports to elevate our structure. Now that we added our supports, our structure can be elevated. Our structure is going to be made with this plastic egg crate. You can find it at Lowe's, the Home Depot, and other hardware stores. Before adding the structure, we need to add our water pump. Our water pump is obviously going to pump water through a hose to make a rain effect. This water pump costs like $20 or $30, so it was not too expensive, and it has this attachment that works well for this hose. Now, I don't remember the sizes because I bought this a few months ago, but you can just do your own research and fail a couple of times like I did. Now, I put in the water pump and I moved one of the supports because it didn't make sense that it was right where the pump was. The next step is obviously to cut the crate in the right size. I even cut a hole here so that the hose can go through it without any problem. So now that the hose is in the hole, we're gonna put the structure on and connect the hose with the water pump. Okay, I almost forget, there's one more thing that is important for this enclosure for the frogs to breed properly, and that is a water heater. The water heater is going to ensure that the water temperature is right and the frogs are not going to be cold when it comes to breeding. Not only that, but the tadpoles are probably going to grow faster, and this is going to ensure an overall better health. Now that we have a water pump and a heater connected, we can add some things like rocks to add stabilization to make sure that our platform is more stable. And the last 2 things to add are our water conditioners. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't collect rainwater, so I can't really use rainwater for my frogs. Also, my tap is not the cleanest, so I always like to add a tap water conditioner to my tap water for my frogs when they're breeding. I have never had an issue with this, and I know that some people say this is not the best, but I know it's worked for me and I've had good results with this. Not only that, but my frogs were healthy and we had really low casualties. Now I'm going to add the right amount of tap water with the conditioners. I'm going to make sure that it is at the right temperature. I'm going to make sure that it cycles for a few minutes, and then when it is cycled at the right temperature and clean, I'm going to add my frogs in. The male will start calling as soon as he is introduced in the breeding chamber and feels and hears the water fall. The male might take a few hours or days to start croaking, but you can incentivize him by playing audios of another frog from the same species croaking. After croaking for some while, maybe a few minutes, hours, or even days, the male will climb on top of the female and try to breed. He will simulate her so that she lays eggs that will later be fertilized by him. The male will patiently wait for the female to lay eggs so that he can fertilize them. If the female is not ready to breed, she will not lay eggs and she will not be receptive. She will try to run away and the male will not be able to get a hold of her. On the other hand, if she is receptive, it might mean that she's ready to breed and ready to lay eggs. At this point, it should not take long for the female to lay eggs, and the male will fertilize them with no issues. And remember, turn off the water pump during the night or whenever the cycle finishes so that the eggs do not get sucked up by the pump and break their membranes, which would not allow the eggs to develop. After the males have been annoying for quite a while, the females will lay eggs. The cycle that I came up with for the white street frogs is to basically turn the water pump on during the day and turn it off during the night, more or less at 8 to 9 p.m. That's when I turn it off. Out of the 3 times that I have done this, the white street frogs, 2 different females, have laid on the 4th night of breeding with the male calling and getting on top of her. I obviously still need to experiment more and do this a few more times to say for certain that it's always a 4th night. But so far, the 4th night has been, in my case, the night in which they lay the eggs. I would probably go for up to a week, see if they lay or not, and if they don't, put them back in their enclosure, feed heavy, and try again in 2 weeks. Once the eggs have been laid, you do not want to disturb them at any costs. You want to remove everything that you can right now, really gently, so that you do not disturb the membranes and break them. I'm going to remove all the plants, all the rocks, the egg crate, the water pump, and other residues such as feces that the frogs might have left behind. We want the tadpoles to be in the cleanest, most sterile, and most empty environment that we can, at least for now. The only thing that we want to leave behind are the eggs, the water, and the water heater. The tadpoles will hatch shortly, and we do not want them to start eating things that they should not be eating. Alright guys, that is all I have for today. I hope this video was useful, and if it was, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.